with us on BBC News. I'm Laxmi Gopal. A new documentary on the Nazi occupation of Amsterdam in World War II, during which 3/4 of its Dutch Jewish population was killed, has been attracting some positive reviews. It's from the Oscar-winning British director Steve McQueen, who's promoting the documentary called Occupied City at a time when anti-Semitism has surged as a result of the conflict in the Middle East. But Steve McQueen says for him, that has just made the film even more vital and urgent. He's been talking to the BBC's Tom Brooke.
Soon, the Nazis started to ban Jews from parks, pools, shops, cafes and schools, from all public life.
This documentary is a Steve McQueen family endeavour. He lives in Amsterdam, and it's a project inspired by his Dutch wife, Bianca Stigter, a historian and filmmaker, who wrote a book, Atlas of an Occupied City, a door-to-door compendium detailing the fate of Amsterdam Jews and others during the Nazi occupation. Steve McQueen's film juxtaposes images of Covid-era Amsterdam with chilling stories of the Nazis' systematic efforts to extinguish all Jewish life in the city.
In 1941, they started rounding people up. In 1942, the deportations began.
Steve McQueen hopes his film brings out from the shadows a very dark chapter in the history of his adopted city.
What really shocked me in some ways when I first started living in Amsterdam is that I felt that I was living with ghosts, that there was another narrative going on other than my own. And somehow to trace that through the present day was sort of, for me, vital. I needed it was the evidence of things not seen. With my film, what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't make sense. I mean, how can you make sense out of 6 million people being executed?
Out we came of these wagons. We had to line up. And I asked, where are we? And he told me Auschwitz.
Other documentaries on the Holocaust, like the landmark 1985 French film Shoah, used testimony from Holocaust survivors themselves, but that population is fast disappearing. So, as Steve McQueen's wife, Bianca, explains, Occupied City tries to tell the story in a different way.
There's no talking heads, there's no archive footage. What you see is contemporary images of Amsterdam on the street. You are seeing what happened there during the German occupation of Amsterdam.
Steve McQueen's documentary has won some significant endorsements from major film critics, but there have been detractors. The running time, 4 hours and 22 minutes, does intimidate. But the director maintains that once audiences start watching, they become immersed. They forget about the length. In a tumultuous time with the ongoing war in Ukraine and the conflict in the Middle East, McQueen hopes his film makes audiences aware of pending political dangers.
It is a call to arms in some ways for sort of being active in our everyday to make it, just change things. We have to be proactive, particularly in these times. And like I said, it's all about love. It's the only thing worth dying for and worth living for.
The film is arriving in cinemas at a time when the Middle East conflict has become very inflamed once again, and anti-Semitism, by different accounts, is rising. Do you think that's going to change the way in which people view the film?
Yes. In fact, maybe it made the film more vital, more urgent. This is a film about resilience and triumph. And that's all, Jews, non-Jews, whatever. It has a sense of human beings who are resilient and, come through it all. Absolutely. There's no point in making this picture if it's just going to be about a certain kind of idea of people. And I'm totally not interested. This is about, resilience and triumph. Absolutely.
Steve McQueen talking to Tom Brooke there. A court in Argentina has suspended